Okay, I think I'm live on both YouTube and Facebook. I probably won't look at you much, Facebook. If you want to get a straight on view, you go over to my YouTube. I just got out of the shower and I look pretty uh, meh today. It's been an interesting couple of days. Um, let's just see if anybody shows up because once again, I gave like 10 minutes notice. And I'm in my PJs because you know what? That is how I roll. Hello, Debbie. Is it Deb? Yeah. Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, Dan. Hi, Karen. I feel a little blind today. There we go. Hello. Hi. You're in your PJs. Yeah, I'm totally in my PJs. And I think that that's, sorry, Facebook, I'm just going to move you. I think that's totally okay. I've had a day of Christmas baking. I did sea salt caramels, 2 batches of them, and then ginger snaps. And then I ran out of energy because, yeah. Um, should I read a little bit of my book while we, um, what is the crown with the stars? I'm not totally sure. I think it's like, I don't know. I asked that in the last live and I don't know what it means. Okay, I'll read a little bit. Let's just let my guides choose a spot right about here. Oh, okay, here we go. This is in what chapter? Oh gosh. Setting boundaries chapter. So here we go. For anyone who really struggles to say no, please remember that setting boundaries and prioritizing your own well being is an act of self care and self respect. Your needs, emotions, and energy are just as valid and important as anyone else's. You deserve to have boundaries and to honor them without guilt. Embrace the truth that taking care of yourself enables you to show up as your best self in all areas of your life. Treat yourself with the same compassion and understanding you extend to others. You deserve all the beautiful things in life. If someone asks you to do something and you get a pit in your stomach and aren't sure about what to do, remember this. Your emotions are important signals from your higher self about what's in alignment for you and your well being. When you're on the fence about anything or anyone, try asking yourself questions like, what is going to happen to me if I do this? Am I going to feel tired? Am I going to feel regretful, shameful, angry? If your answer is yes to any of those things, it's a red flag. Listen to your gut, honor your first instinct. By doing so, you'll know you're listening to your inner knowing and being honest about what you do or don't want to do. There I am. So Facebook, I'm kind of not looking at you. If you want a straight on view, go over to YouTube. I only went live on Facebook because a lot of people don't get the notifications that I'm going live on YouTube. So go over to YouTube. My channel is West Coast Medium. I'm pretty sure. Is that what it is, everybody? So I because this is what happens at Christmas. Oh my gosh, my hair is very wet, like cold wet. Um, I was making dinner 2 nights ago, and I love that I just share all my personal stuff. Um, I was making dinner for the kids 2 nights ago. I was at the stove stirring because I was making spaghetti, and I all of a sudden got a blinding headache. Like it felt like somebody stabbed me in my brain, and it only lasted seconds, maybe 60 seconds. I don't know, between 30 and 90 seconds, I'm not sure. And then the right side of my face and my arm went numb. And that's usually not good when you've had a stroke. And so I debated just waiting for it to pass because usually it does pass. But it didn't stop. And I went and sat on the couch. I turned the stove off. So look at me. Um, I went and sat on the couch, gave it a couple of seconds, and then I started going, uh, it's not going away. So I called one of my kids up and said, this is what's going on. And I didn't wanna go to the hospital because I hate going to the hospital, and if it's a TIA, which is a transient ischemic attack, which is a mini stroke, it goes away. So, after my daughter called my husband, they decided I needed to go in, and I actually was like, "I don't think I need to," and I Googled, "Do you have to go to the hospital for a TIA?" And the answer was a resounding yes. So, I called my sister, she came and picked me up. My other sister was actually working in Emerge, she's worked there for, like, 30 years, and so we went, and it was the most crazy night at the hospital, like, oh my gosh, and it was very busy, but when you have a stroke or any type of suspected stroke, you get fast tracked. So I walked in, I said, there's like volunteers. I said what was going on, and I go right up to be checked in and triaged. And then they call a stroke code and put me back in triage by the trauma room. And very quickly, I was in CT. It took no time at all. CT with contrast, which I hate, and then back because we didn't have a neurologist at the hospital, so he had to, like, call a neurologist, um, and they gave me a triple dose of Plavix, which is a really strong blood thinner, and 2 aspirin. Anyways, they suspect it was a TIA, so I have to follow up with the stroke clinic, and I have an MRI, like a brain MRI with contrast tomorrow. And now, unfortunately, I am on Plavix for 3 weeks, which sucks because it makes me feel just, well, I get like super white, but I also feel just, ugh, this isn't the first time this has happened. It's happened a handful of times since the stroke. So that is my week this week. I honestly didn't wanna go, and, like, TIAs usually do kind of go away, but also they can be a precursor for, other things. So, yeah, for bigger strokes. So, yeah, just keeping me updated. Um, I'm so glad you went. I know, and the doctors always say, "Yes, 100%, you need to come in," and I just always feel like a butthead, and while I was there, the triage nurse stood up and said to everybody, it's a 6 to 8 hour wait if you are not emergent. Just so you know, if you're not super sick, go home, go to urgent care or something like that. Anyways, like it was great. The hallways were full of beds. On the way to CT, there was a doctor with a headlamp stitching up somebody's arm in the hallway. Somebody came in with a heart attack. I don't think they maybe made it. 2 guys with, like, pretty severe looking car accidents because they had to go by us to get to the trauma room. I always feel like a little TIA is not necessarily worth going in and, you know, wasting their time, but I wouldn't have been able to relax without the Plavix, right? If it was a TIA, you wanna prevent any more clots from forming, and because I have a huge hole, like, if this is your brain, I am missing, like, this whole section. So, all of that area that's just liquid now, there's exposed brain all around the edges that isn't supposed to be exposed, and so you're more prone to clots. So the Plavix will prevent it from getting bigger, if that makes sense. Okay, so glad you went here. Okay, I get those as well. Mine will pass, and I do Plavix as well as another med that they're scary. Yeah, and they don't want me to be on Plavix continuously because I'm young and it's a really harsh medication to be on. Better than bloodletting or lesions, yeah. So sorry you went through that, but glad you went in. Yeah. Question: is God a person or an invisible force? God is energy, like a radiating, loving energy. Definitely not an old white man, like movies portray. You're worth it. Oh, thanks. Also, norovirus is on the loose, causing vomiting. Yeah, there was a lot of sick people there. Oh, a TIA is definitely not a waste of time. 100% of doctors would agree. I know. I just always just feel like Like, they think I'm, like, histrionic. Um, Hang on. Okay. You're in a good mood considering, and yes, it's absolutely a good reason to go to emergency. Yeah, I know. It's so hard. I've been there so much. I've been in hospitals so much. And I get like irritated. Like I get super irritated that this is my life and it's going to be my life for the rest of my life. Um, the size of stroke I have, the statistics say there's like I have like a 14 to 28 5-year survival rate. So I don't think I fit that statistic because I'm a lot healthier. Most people who die in that 5 years are things like bed sores and infections because you can't move and take care of yourself, if that makes sense. Okay. I always thought God was an energy source, not a person. Thanks. You're welcome. God is consciousness energy, would you say? Um, Like our consciousness, I don't quite understand the question. Did your guides in heaven say these would go away? No, they did not. They did say I would have my arm would never come back, and it hasn't. And I would have human struggles for the rest of my life. But I would be a lot more patient with it and more understanding. Will you still be doing the healing session on Sunday? Yes. And can your guides help heal you? I feel like I'm pretty healed. I think they had a lot to do with that. Why were you sent back to Earth? Do you have a mission from God? I was sent back to teach um, and learn patience. So I have a mission, yes. I don't know that I would say it's a God mission, but it's more like a mission to help the growth of the collective enlightenment in a way. I feel yeah, chronic pain unless they can fix the nerve damage. Yeah, it's real stupid. Hey, I also the one thing I do have, I know it's on YouTube, it looks backwards, but this is my right arm, and this is the deficit side. Sorry, Facebook, I'm not looking at you that much. I'll try to, but there's a lot of questions on YouTube, and I only went live on Facebook because so many people don't see the notification that I'm going live on YouTube. But I have chronic pain in the shoulder. My muscles and joints are lax because I don't have the ability to flex. It's super funny when I do this and flex this arm, muscle. Not really, I'm pretty weak, but this arm just flabby. I can't flex at all. And so I can't hold my joints in place. So yeah, I have chronic pain on this side and it sucks. Did you ever get your Christmas tree rebuild complete? Yes, I did, and it was a pain in the butt, and now I don't love my tree as much because there's lights all oh, it's a whole thing. Okay, I'm so glad I caught your live. I love your book, Amber. Oh, thanks. I reread it often and recommend it to anyone who will listen. It was life-changing. Oh, that's so kind. Thank you. What signs in our lives point to spiritual presence? It's individual to each person. So the things that you feel spiritual about, you will be shown. So for me, it's numbers. When I'm struggling or when I'm feeling like today, I was just like, oh, I was annoyed because I can't follow recipes without help now since the stroke. And so I saw 1111, 111, 222 constantly. But for some people, it's birds or butterflies, hummingbirds, dimes. So it's up to each individual. Wow, there's 50 people on YouTube. That never happens. Thank you. If you want to share, I would be very grateful. Or like it if you don't want to share because you don't want people to know you're watching me. Okay, Facebook, I'll come over to you for a minute. It's always horrible wait here in Campbell River as well. I'm happy you went in. Yeah, don't I'm special. I don't wait. No. When you have a suspected stroke, time is of the essence because the medication, like the really big medication that I got with the massive stroke, only works for like 3 to 4 hours after the stroke. So you are on a fast track. You are in, like, I was in CT probably within 15 minutes. and they asked what time the situation at home happened. Every single person who came around asked. It was 5:40 PM, and every because then they're counting, okay, 5:40, 6:40, 7:40, 8:40, so we have till 9:40. So, yeah, you're doing so well. Do take care of yourself. I will. Hi, Shauna. I always appreciate your medical shares, especially as I'm still navigating through mine. Yeah, it's just a pain. Oh, speaking of that, Shauna, you reminded me. If you did part 1 of the retreat, Courtney sent out the email to register for part 2, and it goes to the people's junk all the time. So, if you are not registered already, there's 30 spots and 50 people it was sent to. So, already like, more than half is full, so we aren't sure we'll do another one, so if you want to do it, you need to get on it and you need to contact her because people are registering really, really fast so that they can for sure get a spot. I feel the same way about my heart and chest pain. Yeah, it's annoying, hey? A lot of people go to funerals or life celebrations. Does that bother those that have passed? A lot? Forego funerals and life celebrations. Does that bother people that no, not at all. We don't really care what happens to our physical body. We only care that we served our purpose here and we learned and we taught. Um, does praying about an issue do anything? Yes, you don't necessarily have to pray in a religious way, but talking to your higher self, guides, God, angels, whatever your faith is, does help. What is when is the next book coming out? I have no idea. I see number 1111 and 111 a lot too. Ah, yes. Oh, and 444. Yeah. Hit the like button, all you watchers. Yes, please. Is there a time or type of meditation that helps with dreams during sleep? What do you mean? Is there a time or type of meditation that helps with dreams during sleep? Just doing a gratitude prayer at night and letting your higher self and your guides know you want a peaceful sleep. What did I miss? No idea what the crown and hashtag mean. How do you do it? I have no idea what it means. Does anybody know? What's the little crown and hashtag and the number? I think I think it's how many times you commented maybe, or maybe it's like how many times you've been on a live. I have no idea. I'm all signed up for session 2. Yay! Had my chat with Courtney. Woohoo! Do you and should we should we acknowledge our spirit guides or angels daily? And is it okay to ask for help? You don't have to acknowledge them ever if you don't want. They'll work with you even if you aren't aware. And it's totally okay to ask for help. But if you're constantly asking that for them to do life for you, they'll stop. Okay, over here. How do you tell a visitation apart from a dream? Normally, visitations, you don't necessarily get to like talk to the person and hug them and have just regular interaction. Normally, if it's a visitation, they're there. You can feel it's like almost telepathic. You can feel them, you can feel their energy, but you try and go up to them and they disappear or back up. Hello, Gloria. So then what happens after 4 hours when the medication wears off? It's not that it wears off. So if you just joined, I had a slight TIA 2 nights ago. So I had to go to the hospital, get on medication, have CT. Now I have to go get a brain MRI, blah, blah, XYZ, all the stuff. So TPA, which is, I don't remember what it means, um, only will stop the stroke from progressing for the 4 hours. There's no point. It does nothing after that. So it's not necessary. So they gave it to me the first time. Unfortunately, the main stroke that I had already completed, so that entire artery was clotted and cut off, and the brain was already dead, so it did nothing for that. But because I didn't wake up and the stroke continued to bleed, it started bleeding into my frontal lobe, and it did stop that one because it was not completed. So it takes 4 hours to complete a stroke, if that makes sense, most of the time. And so if you have a stroke in your sleep and you don't wake up for 11 hours, that stroke damage is permanent. They cannot reverse it. But there is a chance to reverse the deficits if you get treated within that first 4, I think up to 6 hours, maybe they say, but definitely the first 4 hours. Do you still do your monthly readings by Zoom for collective? I don't remember doing I do monthly healings, and there is one on Sunday. Registration closes tomorrow. Do you think you see someone before they pass, meaning you see their spirits? Do you think so? Yes, some people can. Is that what you're asking? Okay, I'm gonna go over here to YouTube. Um, my friend passed away a month ago. Sometimes I feel someone tapping my back. Can someone from the other side still physically touch someone? Yes, and I am sorry for your loss. I have an ongoing sci-fi story going on before I go to sleep. I end up with wild dreams. I love that. Thank you for the reminder. Just sent my deposit over. Yes, make sure you do because we really want y'all there. And also, 20 people from part one will not be able to get a spot because there is no room. The place can only accommodate, I think it's 32 people, but me and Courtney, so only 30. Um, don't touch the merchandise for visitation. Yes. I have also spoken with you regarding my health and wondering if I'm on the right track after our visit. I don't do personal, like, kind of reading questions in these videos. Sorry, I should have asked more clearly about dreams. I sometimes have very special dreams involving deceased loved ones and would like more. Can I improve that with meditation? You might be able to, yes. That's again very individual, but yes. Hello, Seeking Peace. I've signed up for level 2. I'm so excited. Me too. I hope you're okay. Yes, I am. When I have those little incidences like the TIA, it does go away because it's like a very tiny, tiny blood clot, and then it moves through. So, like, I went numb for a bit, and by the time I was at the hospital, most of it was already back. Why do I wake up to hear conversations going on, but nobody there? It's kind of scary. Are there really people, spirits there? There can be, but if you don't like it, do a good energy cleanse in your room and then ask them to like set a boundary. So in my house, spirit is not allowed in my kids' rooms or my room. I don't like spirit around when I'm sleeping. What just happened? Something. Can someone who recently passed still interact physically with someone, like touching on the shoulder? Yes, I thought I already answered that. Am I still here? Both my viewers went way down. So I'm boring or my service cut out. Can you guys comment and like if you're here? Oh, here we go. I know you can't read me personally, but in general, what does it mean to panic 30 minutes into sleep thinking I forgot medication? I keep thinking it's another life where I'm taking medications. I'm sorry, my belly is growling. Um, it can be. I don't think that's what it is for you. I think it's anxiety. Any advice for doing online videos? I suck. I guarantee you don't. I think I do too. Like, I think I suck. Feel like I'm boring. So we are our own worst critics. And so Just do it, like Nike. You're freezing periodically. Yeah, it happens. Okay, good. Well, just a little buffering. Well, whoops. um, we are still here. Okay, good. Cut out for a minute. Yeah, I don't know why. It just does that sometimes. I saw 1111 a lot 6 months before my son passed. I see it a lot now. Yeah, our guides do that. It's like encouragement. Why do we feel depressed sometimes? Because it's hard being human. I would think someone was lying if they said they'd never been anxious or depressed. Being human is difficult. You're not boring. We get your mood control and are blessed. Oh, thank you. I'm having 0 probs with this live feed. Oh my gosh, my stomach. I did forget to eat since breakfast, except I ate some ginger molasses cookies or ginger snaps. I love how real and honest you are. Hey, thanks. Some people don't like that. Hi, Connie. Is there something you can do to stop bad dreams? Cleanse your energy before sleep and ask your guides to surround you with peace and have some selenite in your bedroom, but not by your head. I'm going to Subway after that. Yummy. Automatic writing versus journaling. What's the difference? Automatic writing, you're consciously trying to connect and bring in other energies to communicate with. Whereas journaling, you're just writing down what you as a human are thinking, going through, that sort of stuff. Arby's is better. We don't have Arby's in Canada, I don't think, at least not here. What lessons in patience do you feel you've made progress? I feel that is part of my soul's journey as well. Oh my gosh, I've learned so much patience. And when I was on the other side, they said that I would learn a lifetime worth of patience in the first 18 months after the stroke. I am so much more patient, mostly with myself. I still am impatient a little bit with humans and sometimes get very isolative. But I'm so much more patient with my journey, myself, my struggles, all that sort of stuff. Yes, YouTube has been cutting out since the beginning. I switch back and forth between my iPad and cell phone. What a pain. I just had a spinning orb rest on my foot. Oh, I love that. Could it be someone I know or a guide? Oh, it cut out for advertising. Yes, I have turned that on because I haven't been working and I've made $19 from YouTube. 19 whole dollars. How do you mentally prepare yourself for the hurt that someone will feel when you express a boundary? When they hurt, I hurt. You need to have your own boundaries so that you don't hurt as much when other people hurt. It's very unhealthy for us when we do that. Have you ever heard someone call your name just before you've awakened after a night's sleep and there's no physical person around to justify the sound? Yep, sure have, because I talk to dead people. When we connect with someone on a strong physical level, is it more spirit soul than just physical, regardless of gender? Okay, hang on. When we connect with someone on a strong physical level, is it more spirit soul than just physical? I can't say that as a blanket statement. Sometimes we just think people are hot. That's not necessarily spiritual. Yeah, I finally caught a live video. Question: how do you deal with being seen by others who have such limited understanding of you versus hiding? Okay, hang on. I don't quite understand that. How do you deal with being seen by others who have such limited understanding of you versus hiding things? So, what do you mean by that? Can you rewrite? Because I don't quite understand the question. I feel I'm here to teach my husband patience, so not working. Think I need a new purpose. I love that. Me too. What can we do when a deceased person has not left? He does not want to go. It's not that he doesn't want to go. They don't like that's not a thing. They just like being around us. So you just cleanse your space if they're bothering you. But there is no in between. There's no being stuck here or limbo. As soon as you die, you cross over. How do you differentiate between intervening and participating in life? What do you feel Do you feel a sense of responsibility to use your gifts? Thank you. I do not. It is not my job or my right to tell people what to do unless they ask. And even then, sometimes I don't tell them exactly what I think, or like I base it on what's needed. How do you cope with the loneliness and confusion that comes with your gifts? Sometimes I don't. I don't know about confusion. I don't feel confused, but there's a lot of loneliness. I can count on one hand the amount of people I talk to in a week. Um, the loneliness is just part of it because I don't make sense to a lot of people. My gifts, yes, but also brain injury. I'm not as fun, and that's a huge thing. I'm not as articulate or eloquent. I'm very different. Um, and I can't say that I fully always cope with it. Sometimes I get depressed. Sometimes I get frustrated. Sometimes I get very lonely. Um, but I talk about it and I question myself and challenge myself when I start to isolate and get angry. I fell in love, big love, only once, and he took his own life. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have never been able to feel that again. What are your thoughts on soulmates and twin flames? I think I think soulmates in human lives are not necessarily who we think they are. They're usually the people that challenge you the most, so the people you dislike the most. But it is hard to find a love that compares to somebody inevitably puts on a pedestal because of loss. And so nothing ever measures up. And that might be one of the lessons for somebody in this life. Do you ever feel like when people see you, they don't understand you? Yes. How do you deal with the limited perspective others have of you? Um, Yes, 100%. I feel like 95% of the planet don't understand me, and it's not my job to deal with their perspective. All I can do is work on my view of myself, and if I'm being a butthead, question that. But it's not my job to take on any of their stuff. Oh, it's that time of year for Amber in the bathroom with chocolate, right? You are elegant and fun. Oh, thanks. My soulmate is my boss. Well, that makes sense. We idealize the list. Yes, thank you. Question: how much control would you say we actually have over our lives and the things we want to create through conscious manifestation? Almost 100%. Okay, I'll come over here. You will attract the people you want to connect with you. That's all. Yes. Why not selenite by your head in the bedroom? Because it can almost cleanse the energy too much and make you anxious. Do you think my husband remembered to go pick up my son? There's no waiting room, so to speak. It's not a waiting room. There's like a soul spa, like if you die of a very painful illness or something. My little nephew is 3 and was just diagnosed with level 2 autism. I was with him and observing him. It's like he is fine, and then he seems to see something and moves his head like he is terrified and screams. I've never seen anything. Oh, poor little guy. We'll go send Gail to sit with him. What can we do to help this little guy? I think just be there and do all of the therapies to help him. There's a lot of therapies. Thanks for sharing your experience, Amber. Now I better understand what my 83-year-old friend had recently. She's okay. I hope you feel better. Hugs. Oh, you're welcome. Um, question. Oh, I already. Geez, I haven't had a stroke and I experience people not understanding me. Yeah. Please tell me that things will get better in the US soon. I don't see how it can get worse. I don't want to speak negatively or negative stuff into existence, but it's not going to get better yet. It's actually going to get worse, which I hate. It sucks. I hate it because you guys are all wonderful. Um, and it just doesn't make sense. Sometimes I just question kind of the divine plan. Um, is there a hell for the afterlife who do bad things? Nope, not at all. We all go to the same place because this life, let's just say I'm a complete nightmare in this life, or I off a bunch of people or whatever. That's just one raindrop of infinite raindrops that belong to my soul. You cannot punish my soul for one raindrop in infinite amounts of raindrops, for you can't punish the entire thing because of that. So no, there is no hell. How do we manifest? There's I should do a video just on that. There's so many ways. What makes you decide to share your gifts with the world when you deal with so much stuff for it? I don't know. I just know that I have to, because just like sometimes I feel alone, I know so many other people in this world feel alone or devastated or like they don't fit, um, or they suffer. And even if I can lighten 1% of a person's energetic load, I think it's worth it. There's no lights and decorations on your house plants. No, there's not. All my decorations are out there. Do this deceased do the deceased are aware or not about the execution of their will? My mom passed away in 2017 and her will is still not settled 8 years later. Well, that's a long time. They don't necessarily care about their will. They do tune in and care about the relationships of the people they love, but they don't care what happens to their stuff at all. We've got years before it gets better. I question the divine guidance as well, right? I thought I was going full on in a stroke 2 days ago. My BP was 236 over 134. Holy, for over 30 minutes. Was your BP super high when you had a stroke? No, I don't have issues with blood pressure. They don't know why I had a stroke. Do you think we're starting the big awakening on Earth? Um, the big awakening is infinite and has been happening since the beginning of time, multiple times, infinite times, because we've done this before. And sometimes we suck. Other times we're really good. I'm gonna choke. I work with children on the autism spectrum with lots of immediate therapy. They can change so much. He's just very young and it takes time. It's about sensory issues and communication that will help. Every child on the spectrum is different. Showing love, grace, and compassion will help. Find what he likes and try to engage. Music is a huge way. I love that. Oh my gosh, my belly. Oh, I ran out of questions. Did anybody figure out what the crown with the number is? Anybody? Shared your live, love your live stream. Aw, thank you for sharing. It means a lot. How do you cope with knowing things you don't want when your boundaries don't protect you from the hard things? My boundaries do protect me from the hard things. Um, they're very, very good. So I don't need to know anything that I don't want. And I hope that continues forever because probably if I didn't have control over that, I would quit. The only things that I like know that sometimes I don't want to know are things that maybe could help me. I think it's because you ask a lot of questions. Oh, maybe, yeah. Isn't an engagement symbol like how much you engage with your site? Yeah, maybe. Is that what that is? The little crown with the number? Some say we are moving from a patriarchy to a matriarchy. Is this true? Slowly, kind of, yes. Is it scary to die? Um, your human self, sometimes. Um, your soul, no, ever, never. It's not like it's scary. Well, sometimes it is scary as a human. You only have to feel a scary death one time in all of your lives. So a lot of the times, if you die in a way that looks really scary, so maybe like a really bad car accident and you don't die on impact, our souls can choose to remove ourselves from our physical bodies so we don't have to go through that. Looking forward to the healing this weekend. Thanks for sharing your gifts. I am too. Should we talk aloud to our soul guides, God and angels, or our thoughts loud enough to hear? Is it better to talk to them out loud? Doesn't matter. Whether you say it in your head or talk to them out loud, they hear you. Should I ask my guides for a peaceful sleep for anxiety? I feel like I need a big speech. Can I just simply ask them? You can just ask them. Oh, it seems to be a top fan. So you have top fans like you. The only reason to fear death is earthly attachments. Not even that, because those attachments continue when you die. What do you think is going to happen with the royal family? They are slowly, slowly becoming not obsolete. I love it. Them. I love watching them. I'm Canadian. They don't won't have as much power in the future. I lost my spot on Facebook. I was going to ask the same question, Amber. Oh, I don't know what question. How can we manifest non-discrimination and pushing? I see you. Sorry, I don't understand your question, Elaine. Hi, do our guides know when we are in private moments and places? Yes, they know all. How do you differentiate between participating in life versus intervening when you know so much? I just trust my guides that when it's needed, I will know to intervene or tell somebody something. I have faith. High engagement or achievement within specific contexts is what I found online. Hey, thanks, Paula. That's helpful. Oh, I hear my child. He's going to be excited. I made his favorite cookies. What is more powerful than bringing in our manifestations faster? Assuming what we want to be true, living in the end, or just feeling the feeling of your desire. So you can't manifest anything you want always, but you can manifest lessons and feelings and energy. Another child. I probably should go then because the whole family's here now. But I just want to say if you took part in level one of the retreat, get your deposit in, message Courtney because there's 30 spots and 50 people that have the potential to join. And once it's full, and we don't know that we'll do another one. So you really need to get in there. Also, registration closes either tomorrow or the next day for the healing on Sunday. So if you have not joined yet, now is your time to join. It's pay what you can. So some people pay $5, some people pay 100. If you don't have money, just message me and say, I don't have money, but I really want to join it. It's, yeah, the payment is more sort of gift for me than a requirement. So just message me and sign up if you want. Thanks for joining. I'm grateful for all of you, and I'll see a bunch of you on Sunday for the group healing. And hopefully I will go live again soon. Bye. And